All right. Welcome to week two or round two of the September Tuesday Swiss at Boylston Chess Club or Foundation. I entered tonight 1 and 0 in the top spot, well, shared with several other people, of course, where I was playing as black against Haley Cope with the white pieces, whose current rating is 1359. I don't know much about Haley Cope other than on the Discord, the Boylston Discord. She has been fantastic about answering questions. Her name H. Cope, and I made that connection. I was like, that must be Haley Cope. So I asked, the sometime in the midweek between last week and this week, where are the pairings? They're not up on the website. And she immediately said, hey, this is the beta, which was really helpful because then, lo and behold, boom, it was my opponent. Last week, if you all remember, I think I told the quick story that I sat down at the board. I was supposed to play as the white pieces against Haley, and then we got mixed around. The pairings got swapped. Instead, I played James Fallon, or really Jamie Fallon, where I got my revenge from the only loss I suffered in July. My first loss of my classical career, for the record. Nonetheless, I entered tonight, I believe, 10 and 6, 16 provisional games under my belt, 10 to go. So I've passed the halfway mark, and I'm feeling decent. I'm sure I'll do reflections when I finish the provisional games about my journey, but I'll save that for another day. We have a recap to get to. The only thing I knew about my opponent is last week, after I was going over the game with Jamie, Haley showed us her game where she beat Justin Guerra. I don't know if you remember, but Justin, I had a game where he kind of grinded me down, where I thought he played quite well, very solidly. And she showed us this game that was freaking explosive, to be honest. There were like sacrifices, pieces. I'm sure the computer evaluation was going back and forth and back and forth. So to me, it seemed that her style was probably very wild. So from a macro sense, I entered tonight thinking I was just going to be playing solidly. And to try to not go for the knockout punch and just kind of grind down and hopefully let her be overconfident and kind of over-aggressive. That was the plan, anyway. As it turns out, Haley, who may or may not listen to this, again, some people from the club, do research. I know Justin does. Haley probably does too, because after the game she said, yeah, I found your Twitter and I found your chess.com profile and I looked up all your openings. I was like, oh my god, she's doing more prep on me than I do on me, which is nutty. So she actually knew very well, or at least she thought she knew what I was going to play. I ended up playing slightly differently, mostly because I just watched a chess.com video by Simon Williams about different variations out of the French. And also, as I told her, I'm trying to shrink down my openings to a very, very few, just to learn them in and out a little bit better, so that I would know the different, like how to transpose into them, the ideas, like the different pawn breaks and the pawn structures. I think that's how I'm going to get better, but I could be mistaken. Again, this is kind of like the blind leading the blind, but who knows? The only other comment as well is after the game, we went over it, and I had the privilege. The best player at the Boston or Boylston Chess Club is a national master. I think there's a few national masters. I think he's the best player. I'm not sure. I think he's like number one on the ladder. There's a guy named Andrew. I'm laying on his last name for now, but it was pretty awesome. He came over. He seems like he's friends with Haley or something. Again, everyone at the chess club mostly have been really wonderful. In fact, Jamie actually sweated the recap. And for the 20-minute analysis, we got an NM overview. His analysis was great. I mean, I'm going to be honest. He spotted things right away. He actually slowed down some of the lines for both Haley and me because we couldn't quite follow along everything. Because, when really top players kind of just spat off line after line, it's like, okay, buddy, slow down. We have to look at the board and it's the board. But that was kind of cool. So it was interesting to hear his view. And I think from an overall sense, I probably was a bit optimistic as per usual. But I'll let you all see. I'm going to do a little spoiler. And this does not mean I lost because I think I played terrifically tonight. But I believe, and I just looked at this on the train coming home, that Haley has the distinction of having the highest accuracy of my 16 opponents so far. Needless to say, I think she played very well. Again, that does not mean I lost. I also played very, very well. So you'll see what happens. All right, nonetheless, I noticed as black, this was my 8th black game, so I played slightly more white. I've only encountered E4 and D4 openings. Online, of course, I have experience with everything. But from like a pure grind down view, and this I'm going to tell people, saying this in this video, because maybe there'll be an opponent that will listen to this at some point. I'm really just not wasting that much time on C4 or like knight openings. Again, like the lesser variations, mostly because, let's face it, 90% of the games are going to be E4 or D4. So this is kind of what I've been training, what I've been practicing. Online, I've played so much Blitz and Bullet, you see all kinds of junk. which I'm actually a little bit annoyed about, which is why I'm trying to play more rapid, because I really just want to play games against stuff that I'm going to mostly see. At some point, I'm going to broach out, but I really am trying to get better. All right. Nonetheless, I started this. I'm not going to share this aspect, but I started an opening book for myself as far as studying various things that I kind of want to know better. And of course, I'm studying the French. I don't know if it's correct that I've kind of picked the French for now, online for more than, a year plus. I have so many games in the French because maybe it's just not that good. But I mean, it's played at the Super Grandmaster level as well, so how bad can it be? All right. And I've been training in this position against the computer the last week plus when I've been trying to get better and learn all the common variations. So I've been training the main line, I've been training the exchange variation, the knight variation, and Haley hits me with a trash. And I know enough of this because I've played this online plenty of times, but it's funny because I know this is book. I know this is not just an oddball move, and I know the Trask, but I didn't study this at all. So when she played this move, I'm like, fuck. I was hoping she would put the knight on c3, because for the record, I actually, in the normal variation, basically the normal French, I know the lines out to 12 moves. So I know the theory with this move, backwards and forwards. And I'm not trying to memorize too many lines, but I am trying to look through basically what the computer says, what the book is, mostly just so I can get an idea of the ideas behind an opening and what I should be aiming to do. So when people play the slight offbeat lines that are still mainline theory, I was a little bit annoyed because I literally haven't spent any time on this. So I didn't know if I should strike out immediately with c5. I should, according to the computer, or basically go into more of the default normal lines. And I just went with again what I thought was the normal line. Which is still fine, apparently. It's the closed variation. So I play, knight f6. She hits me with the e5, and I was really happy to see this, actually. The reason why is this has now become, more the advanced, and my moves are very simple from here. I, know what is correct. I play knight f to d7, of course. She plays bishop d3, which I know is a fine move. It's one of the top moves. And I know now, and I'm glad, that this is where I'm supposed to strike out with c5. Most of the time, the knight would be on this square. I wonder if I can turn squares different colors, only red. All right, whatever. For the record, we do end up playing many, many book moves. I told her that I did know the book lines up to move 6 or 7 pretty well. And very quickly, she was just kind of making it up on the spot and just freaking nailing theory. So, gotta tip your cap. Tip the fedora to your opponent. Again, Haley played very precisely. All right, when I play c5, she continues the pawn chain with c3. This is all theory. I don't think I should go on and on about it. I think it's pretty clear-cut. Again, drawing the lines is way harder than you all can imagine. Let me make sure this is recording. It is. Fantastic. At some point, I'm going to have to let my cat, Sebastian, out of the bedroom. My girlfriend, or fiance, is sleeping, or about to, and he's sleeping under the bed, so he always joins me when he realizes I'm not in the room. So at some point, I'll take a minute break from the video. Just giving everyone the ample warning. All right. Anyway, I play c3. Haley plays knight c6, which is totally... Wait, what? No, she doesn't. She plays c3. Sorry. I play knight c6. I'm like, what the hell? Which is fine. Both these two moves are equal. I did know that I could trade. I thought that I was supposed to develop first and then trade. But again, I think it's just totally the normal move. It is. She plays knight e2, which makes sense. She's continuing to try to just hold and grip the center. If she doesn't do that, then I would trade everything on d4, and I might be able to win a pawn. I feel like in the last quad tournament, the August, where I played the very low rank players, I got similar positions in both black games, and they just gave me this pawn. And that's what I was saying. Those players were sub 1,000, where I was just winning out of the opening, or at least big advantage out of the opening. Haley, who's considerably better, does not. All right. Once that's played, I figured now's the time to take. Computer agrees. This is all the theory. And of course, she's supposed to take back. I figured that as much. I did look, funny enough, at that part, and I'm moving pretty fast. We both are moving pretty fast. I think there was one point where I don't think I was blitzing these moves. I know Haley actually wrote down the time of moves, which I think is kind of interesting. I think on other score sheets, I've noted when I've slipped below an hour and 30 minutes. Those are kind of the big milestones. Maybe I'll continue doing that, but I think the feel for it is that we hadn't used a lot of time. I think we made it through 13 or 14 moves before I looked at the board to my left, and they were only still on move like 7. So I do know that we were moving a little bit faster than the other boards around us. I did look in this position. No, not in this position. I did look to see if a sack was interesting at all. I thought I also saw maybe a sack in this position as well. So anyway, I was looking at like a different night line because there was again some kind of game by Simon Williams. He had this whole French thing where you can sack a piece and you can get a huge black center, and it is good for black. And I have looked at the computer line, but it's not here. And I was kind of conflating the lines, and I was looking for it, but I think it's after you play f6 if it's not taken right away. But maybe we'll get there, maybe not. All right, nonetheless, when we reach this position, in the French, the 2 common breaks are the c5 and the f6. I thought about all my options, and this is where, again, like from the Trask, I was kind of out of book. If it was more the normal line, maybe I'd still be able to keep going, but I figure f6 has got to be the right line. I'm wiping the proverbial sweat off my forehead. Not sweating, it's a beautiful night tonight, because all these moves are correct. She takes... the correct line is to take with the knight. I do know that. She said that she thought I was going to take with the queen, which I don't think is a bad move, but it's not the right move. And I take, and again, we've blitzed these out pretty quickly. We're just literally just nailing the theory perfectly, which is kind of crazy. Again, she is in the 1300s, maybe high 1300s, and technically the provisional rating in mid 1500s. But I don't think people at this level of chess are supposed to be so deep into theory. Like, shouldn't we just be playing like a typical game of chess at this point? Like, come on, give me a break. Make a bad move, for fuck's sake, you know? All right, I take, and from this position, she castles, still the best computer line, still book. Kind of annoying, because I feel like all my moves are good, but hers are just as good. So there's no advantage to be had. I play bishop d6, which is the best move. It is the book move. And again, here I'm just kind of feeling it with where I think the pieces ought to go. Basically, here you've got ideas of putting the queen on c7. Perhaps you have this strong diagonal. When you castle, you have this threat. There's a potential sacrifice idea with the rook here. You want to... one of the ideas in the French is bringing the bishop to d7, possibly rerouting it, to this diagonal as well. Trade off her good bishop for my bad bishop. An idea possibly moving the rook to this this open file, etc., etc. Those are all the ideas, and I feel like, yeah, that's what I'm supposed to do. All right. In this position, Haley, I mean, these are equal moves. H3 would have been fine, but she plays the top engine line as well. And plays, let's see, castles. Then bishop d6, which is what I play. Then knight f3. Yeah, it's the best move. Knight f3. And the reason why is you're trying to land the knight here. You're stopping potential pushes, because I can never clear... This is my weakness right now. This is my backwards pawn. It's the weakness in the position. I'm opening up, a half file where I'll have some pressure. And that's where the idea with the sacrifice comes down, by the way. This is still book. My best move is castles. I knew that. I blitzed this out. And yeah, guys, I don't know if you can tell, but we're now on move 12. So 22 moves have been played, and they're all, this is technically Super Grandmaster level. So, damn. Chess is supposed to be a little bit easier than this. Come on now. Come on, Haley, don't be this good. The NM after the game, this is a common idea, and I did know this from videos, where you try to trade this bishop for this bishop, because this is kind of the white bad bishop. This is obviously a very strong bishop controlling a lot of the diagonals. And I don't really have a way of stopping that. However, I was looking about the rook sacrifice. Again, this is still the best moves in position. Top engine line, again, so far, Haley's played literally a perfect game so far, which is crazy. I looked at... Okay, and now here is where I finally do a think. We're on move 12, and, the main line of the trash, the closed trash. So some people call it the trash. I'm not sure why. It seems totally solid. And it's pretty spicy, right? Like, I have the open file, or half file, I suppose. I do have this weakness. This is kind of a bad bishop. But otherwise, I have the 2 center pawns against the isolated pawn. So, there you go. Yeah, in this position, I thought, and I'm glad I thought, because this is kind of the, this is a key moment of the game. I thought, am I supposed to trade? And then she would take, and then I potentially have some kind of pressure down this file. I thought about that. I thought, do I move my knight and open up and force her to trade, and then I'd be able to move my queen, and then I have this threat, or do I do something else? I was, for example, considering h6, just to stop potentially what was it, like a knight jump or so that then threatens the e pawn. So those are my candidate moves here. In the videos, I really tried to remember what the right move was, and I couldn't. And like this is where I couldn't remember it, for the record. And I thought of a few ideas. I did think trading might be right, but I also thought, all right, if I let her trade and then I take, what is the best position for me if my queen is on d6? So I try to do like the visualize, once that trade takes place, because once I move this knight, I'm threatening, and so clearly she moved that so that she could trade those pieces off. And I thought the theory was the knight on g4, so that if I take, immediately I have a checkmate threat, and I still have this sacrifice idea. So I thought that was what's correct. Now, what the correct theory is, for the record, is you're supposed to move the knight to e4, and white doesn't have time to capture there, because if you capture the pawn, the two minor pieces are under attack. And if she goes like trade, you can take, whatever. And basically, that's good for black. Or I guess according to the computer, it's fine. It's nothing. But that's where like the wildness occurs. I instead play knight g4, which, looking at the computer and the evaluation, gives me an accuracy. I think it's a bit harsh, to be honest. I don't think this is a bad move, but it's not the accurate move. Again, I'm supposed to go here, and then basically this forces Haley, or would have forced her to make the trade herself. This gives me the option of taking with the knight if I don't want to mess up the pawns, which I probably wouldn't, although it looks like queen takes is fine too. Nonetheless, the swap-a-rooney or whatnot, the sack, is still there. I probably would go queen takes, and you play this position. If she does something like rook c1, this is where I think the sacrifice works. I think? Maybe I'm wrong. I was always looking at this. I don't know. It says that white is just better here, but this looks really menacing to me, to be honest. All right, but we didn't do this, and these are kind of like the lines that I was thinking about. Nonetheless, I play g4 with the idea immediately. If she takes, I have this threat, and then possibly I would just jam, like if she blocks with the she can't block with the pawn, blah blah blah. Anyway. Throw it all out the window, throw it all out the door, because when I play knight to g4, and again, I'm straying away from my plan of like trying to entice her to make, wild sacrifices, so who the hell knows. She does take. Of course, I've got to go queen takes. There's no other move. Yeah. And once this is played, I thought, I honestly thought h3 was going to be played, which is where I was going to go for the sacrifice idea, which is what they want me to do. Okay, so that's the line I saw. That's what I thought was going to happen. I don't know why I didn't consider this more. But she moves knight to g3, which is really strong. And like, I'm gonna, because this is the first time where I do like a big thing. Like I do a big thing here, and I assumed what I calculated before is I thought she was going to go h3, which thinks like it's kicking the knight, and then I was going to play the sacrifice. And the idea, of course, is you can't do that because, boom, I have checkmate. So you have to take here, and I thought that my position's better. Now, apparently the computer, they want you to just go back. I guess I actually think I probably would have put it on f6 with the idea of bringing the other rook behind it, to be honest. Actually, I'm curious how bad that is. Because I think this is where I was going to put it. It's still fine. It's just slightly worse, but this is what I would have done. And I thought this was good for me. Now, again, the computer says it's not even that good for me. It's still just an even game. But this is what I saw, and this is what I was going to go into. But instead, she blocks with her knight. And I do a long think. Because I want to checkmate her, so I'm considering playing like the monkey h5, which in blitz I probably would, because I think it's a very complicating move. I'm considering, whether I can take this pawn. I'm still considering a sacrifice, although I don't think it works here. And I'm considering pushing e5, because obviously takes, and then I'm in business. If she doesn't take, then I'm threatening this fork, so obviously she doesn't have an option. So I actually am considering e5, and I thought that we would, arrive at the position that you see on the board, for the record, and that is what I calculated out. And, like, this is the problem. Like, all the moves are pretty close. Like, I don't know what is actually best. And I probably spent... I had a nice time advantage, but I used most of it back here because I think I spent, like, 20 minutes. And in my previous videos, a mistake that I'm trying to rectify is I keep having the habit of pushing forward and not considering moving back. Now, thankfully, looking at the computer, I did play the second best move, which it's clearly not as good as e5, which I was thinking about pushing, which kind of remedies the weakness. Obviously, it then I was also a little bit worried about if she moves this knight, potentially having the discovery on my knight, kind of the ice skater. No, not that fossil. Excuse me, fossiling it. So I was thinking about all that stuff that I might need to move the knight, but where to? It doesn't really make sense to reroute it here. Although there I'd be maybe attacking this pawn. So I considered all that. So this was a 20-minute think, and what I thought was a pretty difficult position. And I'm going to tell you what, I was thinking about all those games where the best move, where sometimes I've made a mistake, is to literally move back. And I was kind of tapping myself on the back thinking, okay, I don't have the sacrifice. It doesn't work anymore. I don't think I have the time to develop my bishop because then she could maybe just like, well, no, if she slams it there, then I just, trade and obviously win. But some kind of opening up on my knight. I didn't think e5 was as good as it was. Looking at the computer, they really do want me to play e5, and I did consider it. So I just make the move of just playing knight f6. And it's the second best move in the position. And honestly, it looks silly because I literally move my knight forward and then backward. But I actually am going to give myself credit here. I actually think this is a good move because I didn't think I had anything going forward. In other games, I've made the mistake of kind of sticking to a plan and not readjusting on the fly. But I heard something recently, if you make a move in chess, you're not committed to following all the next moves. Like, you can make a move and then reevaluate. And once I was in the spot, I thought my knight was out of place. I didn't think I was in a position to, to push h5. Even though in blitz, I think I would play this. And I think in blitz, on a small time control, I do think this is a good move. Because it's challenging. Obviously, you're trying to monkey that forward. But you have different ideas here. It's a very threatening move. Nonetheless, I did consider that, and I considered again e5. Now, what I saw was if we trade everything. Oh, they want to just take like that. I see. D takes, and then yeah. And I saw this, and I thought, I didn't like this for the record because for two reasons. First off, I thought that this was bad because I'm the one with the isolated pawn now. Number one. Number two, something about isolated pawns is they're stronger when you have all the minor pieces on the board, but the fewer minor pieces, though, the bigger weakness they can be. Plus, when I saw this position, I thought that she would just have like this bearing down on me, and I thought I might be even just losing the pawn. So I did see out to this position. I am shocked the computer says it's plus 0.3 because I thought I was losing a pawn here, or at least I was worried about it. What do they want me to do? They want me to just play d4. Huh. Okay. Sure. I mean, I'm giving up all these jumps. I don't know. I didn't like this. Like, I don't think I would have been. I don't think I would have played d4 in this position. But maybe I would have if I had arrived here. I who the hell knows? All I know is I did see out to here when if I was to play e5, and I didn't like it. So again, sometimes as far as growing as a player, it's not just seeing positions, but being able to evaluate them reasonably. Anyway, I played knight f6, and I thought that I didn't think I was any worse here. Now, the computer does say that, Haley, even though we have equal material, we're roughly developed, although I kind of have this rook tucked away. My king is not quite as safe, but I've given that up with a little bit more freedom with my rook. That they have her up like 0.7 or 0.9. So basically, she's in good shape here. I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was pretty equal here, to be honest. I'm wrong looking at the computer readout, but it felt like the game could go either way at this point. Nonetheless, I moved back, knight f6. She plays the best move again. Is she ever going to not play the best move? Well, her accuracy was insane, so maybe not. Anyway, with rook e1, it makes sense. This is my weakness. She's attacking it. Oh, that's funny. Okay, I saw a5. The computer wants me to lash out there. I didn't consider a5 in this position, not going to lie. I thought okay, good, I actually played the best move. No, I did play the best move. I thought I needed to get my bishop in the game. Again, the long-term plan is to reroute it this way. It looks kind of weird to zigzag it, but I moved the bishop, and it's the best move. So, la-di-da. She plays, once I play bishop d7, again, trying to possibly get it in the game here, possibly to connect my rooks. I wasn't sure which one was, which is the better idea between them. She then plays knight h5. And when she plays knight h5, oh, wow. It's a blunder? I didn't think this worked. All right, well, now I need to see why, because I played this, and I immediately thought that this... No, she didn't play that here. Wait. Move 15. Oh, no, she plays knight e5. Okay, I was going to say, I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, there's no way she blundered that. She plays knight e5. Thank you. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I was like, what the fuck? And I thought this was a good move because this is a strong outpost. I obviously can't take because then she takes back with a pawn and I'm losing material. So I thought, that was good for that reason. This is a terrible bishop. I wanted her to trade. She wasn't going to. But my queen's kind of tied down to defend my bishop. But I also have the knight here. Yeah, so I really thought what the best move is. Hey, look, I played the best computer move. Or almost the best computer move. All right, close to it. Yeah, it's actually a bummer. I thought maybe my rook belonged on the c file, but I thought also maybe it belonged on the e file to try to defend the e6 pawn. I wasn't sure if I should play it here or here. Computer even recommends playing it to d8, which is interesting. That way I kind of keep the idea still alive of God, arrows are so hard, of rerouting my bishop, which is a plan. So I did think for a little while here with knight e5, and I play what apparently is not that good of a move, I think. I play rook a to e8. No, it's still fine. It's not a bad move. It's good, but it's not the most accurate. Again, it would have been better if I played here. I'm not sure why though. Yeah, they are always suggesting what sheesh. All right, well, nonetheless, conceptually this made sense because I thought where I wanted my rooks is I thought I definitely wanted a rook on the f file, which meant I'm not sure which of these three files is the best, and I just went with the one that I thought was basically going to be under attack, which would have would free my bishop to basically get the fuck out of there, something like that. I don't know. Yeah, so I play rook to a to e8. I don't think it's that bad of a move, but I understand why that's not the best move in the position. I'll say that. And now she hits me with the knight h5. Right, because now it's not a blunder anymore. And it makes sense because she wants to remove this piece. This is probably my best defender. She is looking at these sacks, basically the Greek god or whatnot. I've always been aware of them. I obviously can't move it out there. This just loses a pawn. It has no retreating square. So I had to quickly, again, do a big think. I was like, all right, I don't think I can take. Taking is terrible, because I think then she slams down with the queen. She's threatening mate. I can't even push the pawn, because then she has a sacrifice. Remember, she's probably always looking for sacrifices, and if, takes, I just saw that as a draw. She's actually better here. I just didn't want to draw. I mean, I'm provisionally rated, so who the hell knows? But I figured I need to try to win. In this section, I need to try to win every game. If I play against somebody who's 1700 plus, I think I'm going to probably be more willing to just try to draw. But I hate to say, Haley played great, but I just wasn't going to take a draw. I don't know how to say it. It's funny, in the recap, she was saying she wasn't going to take a draw either. It's okay. But I did see basically playing g6 here. But yeah, but the computer doesn't even recommend g6. So I looked at all my options, and I didn't think I could take. So if I can't take there, what the hell else can I do? I looked at a line of backing my my bishop so that my queen isn't tied down to defending it, and I still have the pawns basically under control. That was one line I thought of. The computer recommends dropping the queen to e7. I didn't like that because I thought, I didn't want the rook to be in the face of my queen. And they're even considering moving my rook up with the idea maybe of doubling it at some point. I don't even know. But I am a little bit squozen here. I'm a little bit squeezed. It's kind of... Oh, I see. You can play the rook there so that when she takes, you can take with the pawn and allows you to swing the rook up and develop a threat of your own. I should have seen that idea. That's what I should have played. Rook e7. I understand it. All right. Nonetheless, I did not do that. I kind of kicked out all my options. I knew I couldn't take. I didn't want to move my pawns and kind of fuck it up. I didn't think pushing g6 was good to kind of welcome in a sack. It would be like waving the please sack, please sack. So I did what I thought was the right plan, and the computer's going to hate it. And I know that this is never a pawn, by the way. I should have mentioned this because she has this move of taking, and take. But I thought in this position, this bishop was stronger than this knight. Okay, because I didn't think this knight was doing anything, whereas this bishop is zeroing in on the h7 square with potential mate threats. So I thought if I can trade these two pieces, I would basically be doing well. That's not the case, but that's what I was thinking. And I thought the way to do it is by taking this pawn. And again, it trades these two pawns. I thought, yes, this is her isolated pawn, but then I've got the connected center pawns, which are very strong in an endgame. And I sacrificed the safety of my king, but I thought with my pieces all on the king's side, I thought I was still pretty safe. I mean, look how far her rook and technically her queen, her major pieces are. So that's how I evaluated it. Now, again, according to the computer, that's a mistake, but that's what my thought process was in the game. And again, I know that this is not a free pawn, because she always says this move, and I thought that was fine for me, to be honest. Nonetheless, the computer says it's not, that I should not have done that. I should not have done that for sure, but I just didn't think it could be that bad, because it was trading one of her active pieces for a piece that frankly wasn't doing anything. It was my only minor piece that I felt wasn't really doing well. This piece is kind of garbage too, so alright, so not the best pieces maybe. Anyway, she plays the best line. Still, has she even made a single bad move? I don't know. Knight takes an f6. I obviously have to go rook takes. Yep, rook takes is the only line. Pawn takes just loses. I saw that to this because I don't have a piece in the way. So I go rook takes pretty quickly. And then from here, she plays bishop takes on h7, which is the best move. Not hard to find. I mean, this is the tactic that we always knew was going to happen. I feel like all these moves at this point are forced. So we kind of, did the forcing moves. And then she actually thought... I swear, she thought for 20 minutes in this position. I think we were pretty even on time, I think around move 19, but she spent a long time here. Now, I think, or when I calculated moves out, I just made sure that, this didn't work. I knew that I could always swing the rook back, and then I actually have this potential checkmate and whatnot. I didn't think that long here. I just thought that I just kind of intuitively knew that I'd be safe here, that her best move was to take the knight. So for 20 minutes, I was doing the hopium of really hoping she would go for a wild and crazy move. For example, bringing the queen to h5, because I didn't see anything. And I thought if I didn't see anything, I also saw this move first to d3, but then you obviously block with the, oh, interesting. What? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, interesting. You just... Okay, well, whatever. I didn't see that line. Whatever, it doesn't matter. The point is, she thought for 20 minutes, and I really thought she was going to blunder. This was kind of falling into the macro strategy of kind of these wild and flashy moves. But the solid play is to just take on d4. And she does that after 20 minutes. Now, computer gives her a great move. I did think it was the obvious move, but she really, even in the recap, she really didn't want to trade those pieces. And I thought, having made it to this position, that not all my issues were solved. I'm shocked it's plus 1.4 for her, to be honest. But I thought that we took away the active piece. I'm going to be able to double the rooks and be active there. And if I could ever basically lock down the bishop, maybe even on c6 or something, that yes, her knight's better than my bishop, but I would be fine. I was actually considering dropping it to c8, so then the b7 pawn would have been safe, etc., etc. So I was thinking all of that. However, the computer really likes her position a lot more. I mean, plus 1.5 is nothing to sneeze at, and she's playing out of her mind. So in this position, I do play the best move. I then tanked for a bit, and I breathed a sigh of relief. Literally, I thought in this position I was equal. It's not even close to equal, so I'm way off. But I thought, I could play rook e to f8. It's funny, the moves are 0.01 difference, and I spent minutes on this move. It's you just don't know that the differences are so marginal that they don't really matter. And I thought, why give her this pawn? And I thought, am I really threatening to take this even if I double? Nah, let's play the slow move. Let's play a6 first. Now, it is the best move in the position. It's taking away, it's not allowing her to just take a free pawn. I thought, why the hell should I just give her a free pawn? And thankfully, the computer agrees it is the best move in the position, which is nice. Yeah. All right, so we're on move 21. She's used a lot more time than me. I have no idea how bad my position is. Material's even. My activity is a little bit less than hers. She's got a really good knight, but whatever. My king safety is not so good. I was thinking about moving king to g8 at some point. Nonetheless, she plays rook e3, which is really bold and aggressive. What's funny is it's a good move, but not a great move. The better move for her is to just launch the pawn forward. And for the record, I was thinking about that, but I didn't think it was that great, f4, because I thought it let me develop my rook here and immediately just attack it. But then they want her to play f4. What? Oh, they want g3 to f4. Okay, with the plan of basically having the strong. This is what the NN said, Andrew, that in theory she wants to set up her pawn structure like that so that this bishop is completely garbage because it has no targets there. And I 100% see why. That makes sense. Then this bishop is basically just a pawn, and that's why she's probably better because her minor piece is so much better than my minor piece. I thought I had more major piece activity, but I guess I'm wrong. All right. Nonetheless, rook e3 is played by her, and it's pretty clear she wants to try to checkmate me. She's bringing the aggression, and I do a tank here. And I play the best move. So for the record, I do a tank and I do play the best move, which is e f8, thinking that I need some counterplay on my own. Strong doubled rooks. It's the best line, which is nice. And I had to calculate, is this winning or is this winning? And if she played rook h3, I thought I always have the move, which I was thinking about playing myself, of king g8. And if she played queen to h4, I thought I had rook h6, and then I have, again, this same mate threat, and she basically has to just move her queen. She's accomplished nothing with that. So that's why I thought I was just doing fine. I just didn't see the pressure. I thought I was in good shape. Because of those moves, I thought I had the time to develop my other piece that I wanted, which, again, was the plan of pushing rook e to f8. By the way, in the sheet, I wrote it rook e8, f8. I really have no idea how I'm supposed to write this down. On chess.com, it's REF8, I guess. All right, whatever. I really don't know these things. Nonetheless, I thought that this was kind of double-edged. Like, I have a doubled, rook. She has issues on her back rank, to put it mildly, and this rook isn't in the game. And I thought because of those weaknesses, and I've got the center pawns, connected center pawns, that I thought I was doing fine here. Like, maybe I just don't have a sixth sense or so for, like, the danger. But again, the computer says plus 1.3, so this is not winning, but it's definitely good for her. I thought because of the strengths of the position for me, yes, my king is a little unsafe. I just didn't see like a mating attack or any kind of like deep sacrifice, given I could just like swing over and block. I don't know. Anyway, the other reason I played the rook over is now I can continue the plan of bringing the bishop back, which is what I was thinking about. All right, so 21, rook e to f8, and she just goes for it. She goes for the goods with rook h3 check. And it's an inaccuracy. Probably, honestly, it's taking 22 moves. This is probably her first bad move. Like, her first bad move of the game. And I was so glad she did that, because when I was calculating, I was literally thinking about playing king to g8 anyway. So this just helps me do it. Like, clearly, I did calculate very quickly if the rook block worked. I didn't think it did. Because again, then she would just take, and then if I take with the rook or the king, I'm in a lot of trouble. Okay, cool. And I saw this stuff. So all right, that feels pretty good. So I made the right decision. I play king g8. And according to the computer, the game is like, oh good, they gave me a great move. Great move for this. And according to the computer, it's just a really balanced game. I also did think I had this potential bishop eyeing the rook kind of move. And this will come into play because this is a calculation coming up. Again, on the clock, we're both below 45 minutes at this point, but above like 40. And I've got a time edge. I'm going to end up having a big time edge this game, but at this point, the time was still relatively close, if I recall correctly. Anyway, and this is where the madness happens, because when I play the king here, king g8, she tanks for a long time. And again, the time had gotten back to close together, but she dips below the... I think on this part, I know that Haley was keeping track of the time, so maybe she would know better, but I almost feel like she definitely dipped below 30 minutes at this point. I don't think she was quite below 20 minutes, but she was really low and played knight to g4, which I didn't think was a good move, okay? And my first instinct, I literally grabbed my rook intending on playing to f4, which is a decent move. And then I looked at the clock and I had 20 or 30 minutes on her, and I said, all right, this looks like a blunder to her, but like maybe it's not. And guys, we're gonna do some crazy calculations, because I spent at least 20 full minutes here, and there have been very few games or situations where I've spent that long on one move. There have been a few where I've spent close to it, and a few very deep spots. Like I remember the first game of playing Euron Shea, where I had to find this Knight Sacrifice, and I did after 20 minutes, and I was proud of myself. I tanked. And the reason why is, I mean, I'm so glad that these were the best computer options. My first instinct, if I was playing Blitz, I would have blitzed this out, was to play Rook F4, and I also was thinking about playing E5, okay? And these are the best moves, which is crazy to me. Well, not crazy. I'm glad. Those were the two moves. I actually was also looking, I did calculate a little bit about Bishop E8, but I didn't like it, right, because this is under attack. Right, so actually, no, I wasn't thinking about it here. Sorry. That's not what I did. Yeah, those were the two moves I considered. I considered Rook here. Did I consider taking? No, because the Rook, the Knight defense. What am I talking about? I make myself look worse, but I'm than I am, because I'm going to go through the moves. So first off, I had to go deep calculation with E5. What I saw is she can't take. I didn't think she could take here. And the reason why is then, boom, I laser her Rook. So it's not an option to take. If she takes with the queen, same deal. I then trade queens. She takes, and then I win the exchange. And I said, okay, so that's winning. So she can't take there. I said, what about if she takes my rook? And I looked at this move, and I said, all right, well, if she takes there, I would take back with my rook. I'm surprised that taking back with the rook and the queen are so close. And now she has to move her queen. I wasn't sure where she was going to move it, but now I open up, and I thought the best place. Yeah, okay, I thought this was the best spot because then it won't fuck up her pawns. And then I saw this, and then I saw this. I suggest this in the post cap, by the way. In fact, I was proud of myself because you know, who knows if the NM saw it? I mean, he didn't see it right away at the minimum, but I did say that I tanked here because these were the two calculations. And I said I thought I was better in this position. Again, 0.17 is nothing to, like, you know, be that proud about. But the computer does say I'm slightly better. And I said I thought I was better because in the end game, all these pawns are still on the initial row. She's got back rank issues. And the rook isn't in the game, and the queen is kind of out of play here. However, like, what is my next move here? Like, let's say centralizing the queen. He said, oh, that actually makes sense, because then it blocks this check. But the other move that I think Haley and I suggested, or maybe Jamie, was this move, because then you're attacking the checkmate, and you're threatening to win a pawn. However, what the NM saw right away was a clever move with queen c8 check. And then apparently they want to block here. And then what do? And then you go queen c2. Yeah, and this is what the NM saw right away. And this does look pretty equal. But again, white slightly better, but with probably the strong pawns. And this was the position that I calculated. I saw not out quite that far, but with knight g4. So then I had to calculate this move. And I thought, well, what happens? Am I just winning a knight? No, because I saw there was queen to e5. And I thought this was the only move that kind of saves her in this position. For the record, I'm going to keep this as is because this is what happened in the game. She does play queen e5. Apparently, the best line is queen d3, which makes sense because you have to run with... Okay, interesting. You don't have time to take this because you have to run with the king. If you take this here, what happens? She plays rook check. Or, excuse me, queen check, h7, h5, check. Oh, and then we just have to make a draw. What? That's not making a draw. If I go g8, doesn't she just take the... Why can't she not just take this? Oh, because the computer says in this position... Oh, right, because if I push h5, then I'm just winning back the exchange. Funny, funny, funny. Well, and then we get a very similar position as before. Very, very similar. That's crazy. That's a crazy transposition, by the way, as far as d3. Interesting stuff. Nonetheless, I saw this line, and follow along, because this is what I calculated out. I thought if I take, and then she takes, so... Here, I'm going to play what I played first, because, again, all this happened in the game. Queen e5, queen b6. Oh, yeah. Great. Nicely done, Rabo. Rabo Baba. All right. I thought that if I take queen e5, she would take, and obviously my bishop is under attack. She still has the great knight. They want me to reroute this way? All right. I guess every other move is just bad. Why? Why is this bad? Oh, because of the fork. Duh. Hopefully I would have seen that in the game. I'm sure I would have, but yeah, so that's why you actually have to play. That's why you have to play here, because then you're taking away the fork. All right, crazy stuff. Yeah, that if I traded queens, which I should have gone into. I thought with this move that if she goes into queen here, I had to do all these calculations. And I thought if I move my queen, then I'm threatening a checkmate if she moves her bishop. If I can take it, I'm still threatening a checkmate. And the reason why there's a checkmate is you can basically, if she makes a random move with my queen over there, then you can just take with a queen under check, have to move there, and then you can sacrifice the queen because it's then back rank, which is where the back rank comes into play. So that's what I was looking at. So I thought if I move over here, I looked at this knight check doesn't work because then I could just take. And I thought with this knight check, I would take with the pawn, and she no longer has this check because the pawn is guarding. What I didn't see, what cost me the game very possibly, is with this knight check, which is a hard move to find. It's a brilliant, by the way, but it is what I was thinking. That rather than the queen check, she has this check, boom, and all of a sudden she's going to win the exchange because I've moved my queen out of the way, and even though I'm threatening, she'll have the time to take it. So I guess I blundered my calculation. She spent a long time in the calculation, and I spent a long time too, and I just missed that move in the future. Nonetheless, I play here, thinking that I have got the checkmate. The only winning move is this brilliant. It's absolutely going to be a brilliant. It's got to be. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, knight takes. Obviously, the only move. Everything else falls to mate. And too late when I played it now. She doesn't have this move, but she does have this move. And unfortunately, rook to g3. Obviously, everywhere else I'm just getting checkmated. So I have to run. I play king f7, and she now takes my rook. And it's a shame because in this position, I still actually have... I thought that maybe I was still winning back the exchange, maybe. But all my moves are kind of forced. Like, there's not much I can do here, right? Like, which is a bad... it's bad. I should have thought a little bit longer about which squares. I chose the worst one, which is a shame. I don't know why I just didn't go rook e... Why did I not play here? I don't know. I play king e7, and apparently, according to the engine... no, I did play king e7. Okay, it's an excellent move. Okay, they're pretty close. According to the engine, it's like over for me. Yeah. I play down. I still have this threat. But, and all these moves are forced. It's not like, obviously I didn't see these 5 moves away. But she makes the pretty obvious queen check. I have to block with the queen. There's no other line. The engine doesn't actually want her to trade. It's not the most accurate. But she's trading into a super winning endgame. So she does trade. I obviously take with the king. And yeah, now we're in a position where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But she's got an exchange. And it seems bad for me. She's got the 7th. Her pawns are not really on light squares, so my bishop isn't so good. That I'm just losing, and it's because of a miscalculation. Yeah. For the record, though, she's played like incredible. When I looked at the accuracy on the tee, holy moly, crazy. She is going to give me one opportunity to come back. She doesn't play a perfect endgame, so strap on, and you'll see what happens to end everything. All right. So she plays rook c1, which is a pretty automatic move. It's not the best move according to the computer. Rook h7 is slightly better. And I actually thought that was more accurate because I didn't have a way of defending this pawn. I would have had to probably push my my rook up. Yeah, so when she plays rook c1, I now go rook f6, which is fine. It's not a bad move. My thinking is I need to grip, and I need to get counterplay by pushing my pawns. And I thought the best way, the only thing I saw that was interesting, was getting my rook behind my connected pawns and pushing them. I also considered, bishop to c6, but I thought I was just always losing there because it would have been pretty easy for her to gang up and kind of get the 7th rank. So, all right. Nonetheless, I play rook f6. This was the only counterplay. And for the record, in this position, she has slipped down below like 16 minutes. She finished the game with only like 6 minutes or something. So I start doing the thing which I've been doing every time I'm losing is I just start blitzing because I still have like 25 minutes, maybe even 30 at this point, to be completely honest. And I think I'm lost. I mean, I am lost. I'm down in exchange for nothing. There's absolutely no compensation. Her pawns are really back, and I can maybe get the pawns rolling, but it does seem marginally hopeless, right? So she plays, after I play rook f6, she plays h4, which I'm not going to be critical. Oh, it's the best move, apparently. Jeez. Damn. What a killer. Okay, it is. I thought it made sense. She wanted to get some space for her king. I wasn't sure what she was supposed to do. I thought maybe try to like gang up with the... I really don't know. Maybe get the king in. I'm not going to be critical. All her moves seem fine. For me, I'm just trying to make, basically pressure her. I play e5. And the idea here is pretty clear cut. I can now swing the rook and boom, 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 boom. Maybe I can, win that way. Who knows? We'll see. So I play e5. She plays f3, which is smart. It kind of stops this push. But I didn't care because I now play d4. And again, this is a pass pawn. There's no pawn that can attack it. If I can stuff my rook here, maybe I can get it down the board, and maybe I have some winning chances. That's the only thing I saw. So d4. She plays rook c5. Oh, that's my cat. I told you guys it would only matter of time. Although actually 50 minutes. It's been a little while, but he's starting to bob at the door. So be right back in a second. Little boy bumping his little head. You can hear the thump, 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 thump. All right. Nonetheless, when she plays this, I'm giving up this pawn. I don't care about it anymore. I don't even care. It is the best move because my idea, and I wasn't even calculating at this point, even though I had like 25 minutes. I just thought this was the only way to maybe win is I just got to get the pawn rolling, and maybe, just maybe, that'll be enough. And I was hoping because... it's plus 4.5. What else do I have other than hope? Nothing. She takes, actually, which I thought was greedy. It's like this pawn's unnecessary. I thought she should have done everything to like get the king over. But I don't think it matters much. I do play the best move. I played d3. For the record, my accuracy in this game was close to 90%. So I'm not disappointed with how I played. For the record, she just played outstandingly. So that's why I'm actually not upset with how this game went. I think that I made that one calculation mistake, which did cost me the game, but cut me a break. I feel like against 1350 or so, or 1315 or 1300, whatever her rating actually is, I shouldn't have to play 90% accurate or 80. I shouldn't have to play that well to win. It's like, what the fuck, man? Give me a break. Haley plays rook g8 check. The only move, of course, is king to c7. I play it. And then she plays rook c5 check. I look at b6, and I look at rook, and I look at bishop. Now, in this spot, I should have calculated a little bit more, but I thought that if I played the rook here, that she wouldn't be able to take. Because I thought with king takes, I could make a king. She could never play the rook over because the bishop's taking... the squares away, but I'm wrong, and I should have actually. I'm just blitzing again. She's down to like 7 minutes or 6 minutes. It's too much time to blitz like that. But I thought, but the problem is she's in time by one move there. Because if I push, she then moves here, and then she makes a queen. And I don't actually have. And I did look at this check because she just has the pawn move. So I unfortunately throw away. I feel like if I end up playing rook c6, and the game does basically end here. But I feel like if I played king b6, she would have played rook c1, and then how would have the game gone on? I don't even know. You know what I mean? Like at this point, I feel like I just don't have anything because she can get her king over, maybe not to there, and just gang up on this. And once that falls, like even if I can, the funny thing is, even if I can win the exchange back. Basically, this pawn and bishop for this rook, this is still losing for me because it's even on this side and then 3 on 1. So it just lost. You know what I mean? Because she's so low on time, I do play a few more moves, but only a few because it's just curtains for Baba. Anyway, I have to do a quick thought here. What's better? Apparently, taking with a B pawn is slightly better. I just take with a king, thinking maybe I can make it down the board. But then I realize I can't even support this pawn because she always has this move to basically put the rook right by the bishop. So, needless to say, it's just over here. You know, I resign shortly. She plays after king to takes on c6. She plays king f2, so she's just getting the king over. And yeah, I play king c5, just trying to like maybe get down the board. She plays king e1 now. Just trying to, again, I can never push. I never have the bishop to basically take away that square. I play b5, which at least is the best move. Buttering up that accuracy, you know. She plays king d2, which is a terrific move, just totally blockading the pawn. I play, I basically could resign here. I play, you know, again, it's one of the best moves, but it doesn't really matter. I'll just enter it because I resign in 2 moves. Bishop f5, and then she responds with, let's see, all these moves are winning. Everything is winning for her. Bishop f5. She plays rook f5. Why is wait, rook f5? No, rook f5. She would lose the game. So what? Why did I write down rook f5? Bishop f5. Whatever. Maybe I even stopped writing down the moves at this point. Maybe she does this. And everything is winning. Okay, it's excellent. And then I play what? I resign literally next move. So I think I play bishop g6, I guess. I don't know. None of these moves matter. And then she ends the game with this move, I think. Rook f6. All right. And then once we reach the position, this pawn's falling. I can never really support or get that rolling. There's no tricks. There's no comeback. And I resign the game. So, yeah, I lost. I'm going to do the analysis, just what the engine says. God damn it. Wait, why is that not working? Come on, chess.com. There we go. God damn it, don't be so difficult. I lost as well. You don't have to be so difficult. All right, what was her rating? I wrote it down as 1359. Okay, 59. And at the moment, my rating is 1579. But let's be honest, folks. That shit is going down. Boylston to Swiss. Wait, I'm tired of putting in the time control because it never seems to work like correctly. All right, let's save this. Add to game collection. We're gonna add this to the Boylston Club September Swiss. Boom. So it's a loss, and I'm gonna be honest. When I looked at this on the computer, she was like a 93% accuracy or something. We'll see what the computer says. 89. Okay, I guess the last few moves that I didn't enter from the train knocked her down. But on the train, I had her as like a 93% or something, and I had me as an 87%. So yeah. So I mean, it's kind of silly, those last few moves, like even putting them in, knock down the performance so much. But yeah, I think she just played a hell of a game. Again, when I did it on the train, she was 92%. Like, actually, I'm just kind of curious. Wait, this is the review analysis board. I'm just kind of curious for a second. If we were to, let's see. I don't think it should matter because these are all like good moves. Whatever. For some reason on the train, I put it out to about like here or something. Here, let's just. I'm just kind of curious because I did it on the train how that impacts it. Okay, it doesn't even matter. All right, whatever. Obviously some kind of difference. So yeah, yeah, I'm gonna be ending the video in a moment. Let me double check that. 59 minutes. Okay, not too bad. Yeah, so what do I think? I think she played really well. Again, on the train I had her in plus 90%. This is an 89.5, still great. I thought that I played solidly. I made the one miscalculation, which literally cost me the game, We both had 100% opening theory. We literally banged out 12 and 11 moves. That's nuts, considering she didn't know it that well. She was just kind of making them up at the board, so big kudos. My mid game wasn't even bad, and her end game she was super accurate, no mistakes, even though I had some pressure, some hopes. Yeah, I mean, at no point in this game was I really better. I guess thinly over here, and it's crazy to me because I don't think I played a bad game. She just played better. Yeah, not really much more to be said other than that. I guess what I'll do is we'll have the computer do the game review. Let's start the review. Come on, computer. All right, we're up to book move from here. Boom, 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 boom. And then the game is close, but white has the advantage. So this is the spot calculating. The best move, whoops, is, yeah, and that's a move I didn't consider, for the record. Rook e7. It makes sense, though, for the record. Wait, now a6. A6 when I did it, when we were looking at the... What the fuck? How come they do this? When I was looking at it here, they had a6 as the best move. And now they don't. Now they have the rook over as the best move. Now they have a6 as the third best move. All right, that's silly. All right, it doesn't even know. You can't call a move good when it ends up being the best move. I hate when the computer does this. So maybe the chess engine on the phone relative to the computer was 93%. Who the fuck knows? Anyway, the point is, and then, yeah, this, which is a move I considered, this brilliancy. And then I'm just screwed. Everything kind of boiled down to, wow, and they even call this a great move. That's crazy. Is when she plays back here, I did consider e5, and then rook f5 is not a move I considered. I'm not sure why that's better, but yeah, rook f4 is what I end up playing. So if I played e5, which is what I considered, this is the line I saw. No, not that one. This one. Yeah, I'm actually curious how the game would have gone from here, because this is the other line that I calculated, and I spent so long in this position because I saw both variations, and I just wasn't sure what was better. I didn't like that move. My heart screamed for me to play rook f4, but then I missed after rook f4. I needed to just trade into this, which is I didn't want to do because I thought I was worse, but I would have been better. You know, it's disappointing. I would have been better here. Takes, and then I think I would have found this to prevent, you know, the family fork. I'm pretty sure I would have found that. Not that. Here. Yeah, and I'm curious how the game would have gone. It's funny to me that the computer says I'm better here. I don't know why, because her knight looks better than my bishop, but maybe because I have my rooks doubled or something. I don't know. What do they want her to do? They want her to play here. Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. And then they want me to just play rook b4. Just start, you know, threatening. Yeah, I wish I had done this, because maybe I would have won the game if I played this move instead. It was like a real... I'm not even kidding. This was a real 50-50 moment for me. And unfortunately, in this position with the sack, I missed this move. I only saw different checks here and how she was walled off. And I thought that I was mating her. I thought I was faster. And obviously, once I get checked, if I go here, I get checkmated. And this just gives up a free rook. Well, I don't know if that's any different because I'm losing it anyway to the queen. But maybe... Yeah, I don't think it's any different. But, yeah. And I thought if I ran, she would still be under attack. But it wasn't good enough. I thought I moved to e8. How come I didn't play here? Not that it would have mattered much, but I'm actually really surprised. Because it would have gone like b8, e7, g6, f7, takes, king takes. Yeah, they're saying I can't even run to protect this pawn. I probably would have, though. And she's just a lot better. Plus 5. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the problem is she's got the rook, and I've got the bishop. And it's a bad bishop, too, as it's walled in. Alright, well, this video has been long enough. An hour and 5 minutes. I am definitely going to play the quad on Saturday. I need revenge. Going to tip the cap once again to Haley. I really am curious why the analysis here says 89.5, and then the computer, my phone, when I was in the train coming home, 92 or 93, but, you know, whatever. At the end of the day, I think this is the most accurate opponent I've played. And again, I didn't play badly. Like, I really didn't. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I played, where if this was against somebody else, like my effort here, I feel like 85 would have been enough to win almost any game I've played at the club so far. So, obviously not all games are equal, different openings, blah, 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 blah. But I'm not unhappy with my accuracy tonight. I'm not unhappy with my decisions. Even the passive move when I retreated the f6, I did forget that the knight was supposed to go over here at first, which would have given me the sacrifice ideas. But I don't know. You know, sometimes again, I still cannot. Because Haley said, you know, she did research on me in my opening or whatever, or what she thought I was going to play. She thought I was going to go for the Rubinstein variation, which I play a lot online. But we got the Trask, and hey, we played so many lines of theory, and I kind of knew what I was supposed to do. I did the right breaks. Just there was a good amount of pressure. I even had was able to move back. I should have traded off queens in that spot, not realizing I thought I'd be trading to an endgame where her knight was better than my bishop, but I should have done that because first off, I would have been better. But also, I think I would have beaten her in an endgame. But once again, this follows the same pattern. I feel like in the openings, I'm pretty strong. I mean, we both batted 100% in the opening, but I knew my opening theory, and my endgame as far as tricks. I mean, she finished it with good technique, but you know, she was blitzing. She was getting kind of nervous. It's just these middle games where literally I'm just getting outplayed, and it's shocking. Not shocking, it's disappointing. It's probably the better word for it. But all right, this has been a long enough recap. I got a little Sebastian over here. I'm going to enter it into my good old Google Doc. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I'm going to register for this real quick. If I'm kind of curious if the standings are up. They are up. So yeah, so as it stands, I'm now 1-1. Damn, they're already dinking my rating. Can't fault them for that. Daniel Paley was on my right. He lost tonight. It's too bad. I'm kind of curious let's see who I'm supposed to play. Again, the pairings are, they kind of jiggle it up each time. Mario Soto, who's unrated. No idea anything about this player. I don't know, actually, in my section, you know, obviously I've played Jamie, and I lost in the U15 my first time around. I beat him week 1. I just lost to Haley. He has a high rating for the section. Don't know these players at all, but I'm sure I'll play one of them. And then Daniel Paley's having a rough go of it so far. He's 0-2. So I thought Justin was in this section too. Is he on a bye or something? Who knows? All right, that is gonna be it from me. I'm actually just real quick ball chart. What do I go for? Isn't Justin in this section? Is that just a bye? I don't even know what the deal is. All right, well, whatever. It doesn't really matter. All that matters is I am going to play Mario Soto, who lost against Zanulu. I really don't know these guys' names. I'm going to have to ask him how to say that. And he ended up beating Jamie tonight. All right, so don't know much about that player, but he also beat Jamie, so we're both basically in a similar position, which is both have 1 win, 1 loss. I think I'm going to be white. So I think, you know, hopefully... Oh, okay, there we go. It's Andrew Hoy. That's the guy. So this guy was super helpful tonight. Really, really nice guy. Yeah, he's the best player at the chess club. Highest rated. I was going to say by a good amount, but this guy's rating is almost exactly the same. But those two guys are clearly better than everyone else. I'll say that much. My friend Ben lost tonight. It's a bummer. Yeah. All right. This has been long enough. Peace out.